Hello everyone, my name is Bibek Bhujel and from today I am going to start a chess learning session every day, and in this session we will be learning about basics of chess and how we can advance very rapidly and reach 2000 very soon in chess. I myself am 1700 and it's been like a year since I've started playing, and that is quite an improvement to be honest. And I want to make sure that I learn as well, and I will also make sure that you learn as well with me in the process. For that thing, I've decided to start this new session every day where I'll be starting as absolute beginner in chess.com, and my ranking right now is 100. I've created a new account and we'll be looking at puzzles every day. We'll be looking at tactics, we'll be looking at openings, and we'll be analyzing few games together. So let's start. Today is our first day. Let's see these things. First of all, I hope that you know how to move pieces, because if you don't know that, then you should probably learn that. Most of the people know that things like that, know those kind of things. For example, how to move pieces. So I'll be starting with just tactics, to be honest, because that is where that those are the things that are required for you to become a better player. For example, uh, the more tactics you know, the faster you can grow in, grow from what your level is till I would say 1500, and then you should be positionally well and you should know how to create plants and stuff like that and things like that. So for today, we'll be looking at one tactic, that is fork. A fork, also known as double attack, occurs when a single piece attacks two or more enemy pieces at the same time. This is one of the most effective ways to win material. So this is what it is. Fork basically happens with every piece, but knight forks are very highly rated. It's and knight can attack a lot of pieces at the same time. Forks Fork basically means that uh, a piece attacks two or more enemy pieces at the same time. So let's see. We have been given here a puzzle. There is solution of this thing here as well, but I'll try to make sure you don't see it. And now this is our board, and here there you have to attack. You have to move your knight in such a way that it attacks two or more pieces. Here in this thing, this knight can go here, it can go to a lot of squares, but just see here, where can it attack two high value pieces which have more value than him. If we go here, the king can't take back because we have this knight here. So I guess we can just move this. See this, knight should be coming here because it forks the rook and the queen, while the king can't take it back. Stuff like this. Now this is another puzzle where you should be seeing here there are a lot of things, but you're white and you have to attack two or more pieces with your knight. The best way to do here is take this pawn on f7, because when your knight lands there, it will attack the rooks, both the rooks and this knight as well. See this, right? uh Pawn forks are very let's say important as well, and pawn forks are very nice actually. Okay. uh, Suppose this is the stuff. Basically you know what to do, right? You should attack two or more enemy pieces with your own piece, and the enemy pieces should be generally high value and you should not be taken back. Here, suppose it is basically assuming that this queen is taking this pawn, and if this is the situation, you should push your pawn one step further to b3 from b2, and it is protected by the rook, so one of its pieces will die. That is the basic thing. Yeah, perfect. I guess we are okay with this much. A lot of every piece can fork other pieces as well, so we should just make sure that we fork and we don't get captured back and we are attacking two or more pieces. That is it. I have been trying to show you this stuff, but thing is, this is not working today. I don't know why leeches is not working, and I don't have actually this stuff called leeches, not leeches, chess.com's premium account as well, so it will be harder for me to actually show you. Winning with tactics, I don't know how much I will be able to, like, I want to show you fork. Where is it? Fork is basically double attack. I want to make sure I play something and show you, but puzzles, I'll let it be. I don't care. We'll do basic puzzles today, okay? And I'll show you how to think as well. Like, the main thing I would do in this series is for you to think how to move in chess and how to make plans and how to capture pieces. Like, just make any kind of, don't make any kind of blunder. That is what I have been planning. So let's start with puzzles. Here I will teach you to think how you should be thinking when you are making a move, or you should know consequences as well. So this is white to move. Here just see where the pieces are, where our pieces are, and where the opponent's pieces are. The stuff is this: the queen, opponent king, queen can come here, and the rook is here, and another rook is here, and there are no other significant pieces to stop us. And see here, this tactic is called skewer or something like that, or it is also called pin, because we are directly attacking this, and you just have to make sure that, sorry, I'm moving my camera. This is, the queen is attacking this rook, and we have to make sure that we don't get captured, right? And just think what will happen if we take this. What are the possibilities that can happen? The king can't come here because it is already in check. It should move something else, and if this rook comes back to e8, then we can again simply capture back with our queen. So I guess that is a checkmate, right? So that is the best move for us right now. See, it is. This is basically our new account. Things like this will happen. This is very interesting. I will have to move my phone a little bit more because I don't have a webcam right now. Oh, I can do that. No, I can't do that, sorry. See, this is a situation. We see all our pieces, see opponent's pieces. There is no significant thing I can do here. There is one thing that you should think of when you are about to play any move in chess. The sequence, there is one sequence that you should be following: checks, captures, and threats, because these are the most forcing moves in chess that a player can play. If you check someone, then the opponent king has to move, and there's no other choice, right? Captures, if you capture something, then that is also a very powerful move, because you are capturing other pieces of the opponents, and it will create a disadvantage for that opponent. And threats are basically, you should be creating danger at opponent's king or any pieces, so that they can't, like, they have to respond to that, otherwise they'll lose a lot of material. Let's say here we don't have any kind of checks, see, because it is completely guarded. And captures, see, we have this capture, we have this capture, but this is useless because this can be taken this way, and if we capture this, it can be taken this way. Rooks don't have any kind of capture at this position, and so the only piece that is left is our queen. See where the queen can go. Queen can go this way, this way, sorry, this way, this way, this way, this way, and this way. And just see what piece is coming in one of the diagonals here. It is the knight, sorry, it is the knight, and it can't be taken back. Like, our queen can't be attacked or taken back with any of the opponent pieces, so this is the right move. See, nice. Now this can be a little complicated, I would say. uh, See, these are pieces here, major pieces, and these are opponent's pieces. It is basically, opponent is basically offering to trade the queens, like swap up the queen of the board, and this is basically a draw if that is drawn. So we should be doing something else. See, where can we give checks, or we can make captures or give a threat. This queen can move this way, all these ways. Why am I not able to be sorry, takes, and it can't go backward because the bishop is guarding it, and this is the only way so it can go. This is a check, and it is not doing, we don't have much follow-up because the king can just take it back, and we're just losing simply a lot of material, and it's just losable. And this is another check, and this can force this to come here, and we should know the follow-up as well. If we give a check here, it can't come here, it can't come here, it can't go here. The only square left is h7, and we have to follow that up with maybe this bishop to e4, and this will just block this diagonal as well, so we'll have to move this, for which we'll just be playing after which we'll be just playing queen to f7, and it is a checkmate. You can also take this and just play on, but it will simply turn in draw. So check is the most capturing thing, like it is the most threat, it is the biggest threat, and opponent has to respond, it is most forcing. So this is the best move here, and just give a check this way because it is blocking this diagonal. So it did something else than what we had thought, because if it had moved this pawn forward, then it was simply a check, but it can just take back and keep the game going, and it is not, it is completely losing, but it will take a lot more moves than immediate need. So we'll just take this back. Done. 2 puzzles done, and my streak at this availability is over, so let's just cross it. I want to teach you in games, but is it possible? Like very easy basic checkmates or in games, in game patterns would be very nice actually. Two pen games are very no, I can create a position actually. Let's see. Today we'll be learning, I would say, what will we be learning today? I want to make sure that board editor, where is it? I want to make sure that we'll be learning something. We'll just clear board and we'll just have, sorry, we'll just learn today queen endgame, basic queen endgame, and it will be very easy to play for you. Like let's play with the computer, right? Because it will be helpful. Strength, like the more strength it can have. I am white in this position, let's say. Okay, I'm starting now. It is my turn, so I have to basically checkmate this king, right? So I have to make sure that I limit the movement of this king. In this situation, it can come here, here, it can come like this place, into this file, this sorry, 7th rank, and I have to make sure that it just, I have to limit its movement as much as I can. So I can just basically do this, and it is time for king, like this will move. The next thing I should do is approach my king towards this king, because that is the only way you can checkmate, right? Otherwise, because a king, opponent king can't move into this territory where our king is, it can't move in these squares of the opponent king, and if our king is somewhere here and it is right there, then it can't move anywhere. And if we deliver a checkmate at this point, like a check in this point with the queen, then that is a checkmate. So we just have to make sure that it is like one square, there is one square between these two kings in middle, this square, or any of this square, wherever the king goes. So that is our aim. Let's go. Let's do it. Start. Now the stock piece is playing. It can't move here because it is just not possible. We just have to approach this as king as quick as we can, because the next move will be this. And see, just imagine that what should be our next move, because the king is able to go here and here. Right now it is not able to come here, and even if we move the queen somewhere here, then it can't come in these three squares, because our king can easily kill it, right? So it has just two squares to move on, and if we like block or are able to check it at that point where these two squares are taken, we should do that, and hence it is a check too. I guess you understood that. Ah, what shall we do next? So just make sure that a rematch, let's say. Oh, no, I'm not playing with black pieces, please. Because it is completely losable. So the thing we have to do is we just have to limit the movement of king in one file, in this case just 8 file, because if we keep our queen here, then we are completely blocking this. So let's just do this, and we have to make sure that there are a lot of squares between this king and queen right now, this, and we have to make sure that there is only one square between our king and queen, sorry, king and opponent king. See, now it will come here, and we are covering these squares. If this king comes somewhere, so we will kill it, so it can't come, and the only valid squares like are these two squares, uh, b8 and d8. So we just give a check right in this position, and it is a checkmate. I hope you understood that. I'll bring you rook endgames tomorrow and basic checkmate. We can do rook endgames right now as well. Let's say it is very, like, if you understand queen in games, this kind of queen in game, uh, then you should know, like, it is pretty similar with the there is no difference between rook and queen in this position, like in games in this position, because even if your rook is here, then it won't be able to move here and here, and you should make sure that this condition is achieved. This condition is basically called an opposition, where opposition basically means that the distance between the number of squares between your king and opposition's king is just one square, I would say, and that is basically opposition. It can occur in a lot of positions, but this specific opposition is required in this kind of situation, and the rook can just move in and give a checkmate. It's pretty similar. I will try to mate it in a little bit different way, I guess. Yeah, not in with black. Yeah, let's say we have to cut its squares, so we'll cut it in a little different way, I would say. Okay, let's say we cut it different this way, and this is again pretty similar. I'll make sure that this is done, and I will make sure this is done, because I want to now see this is in opposition, and this is called stalemate, because this square is covered, this square is covered, this all these valid, all the squares where the opponent king can move is already blocked, and it is already in check, and it can't move there. And if it does not have any valid move, then it is a stalemate, and that situation is draw, right? All right, I guess. So for now we'll be playing a game. That will be the only game that we'll be playing today, 10 minutes. I'm not a complete beginner, but I will try to explain you how to think, and I will try to tell you what the beginners make mistakes and how they think. Oh, wait a minute. First of all, before this, I will try to make sure that I teach you some opening. And as a beginner, you should make sure that there is only one, like, till a certain point, you should be sure that you will be playing only one opening till you master it, and then you can move on. Because if you do that, then the chances of you blundering something or doing something wrong is pretty less. Openings, let's see. we'll be playing not this. Where is our opening explorer? Sorry, I am not able to see opening explorer right here, but fuck off. We can just learn. So the best opening for beginners has both black and white is basically London opening, like London system. Where is the London system? I'm not able to see it right now. You can play this opening with both black and white, and this is very solid, and the chances of you losing is very minimum. See this, please. Explore. Can we? I can't explore because I don't have much. Like I don't have premium account. So let's see this. D4, D5 is basically the response. You have to play this knight to this square. This square is called F3. In order to find the name of the square, you just have to see this A B C D E F and 1 2 3 4, and the square it lands on. You have to first tell the alphabet and then the number. So this is F, and this point. So this is the file, and this is the rank. So this is the place it is landing on, and so this is F file, and this is third rank. So the intersection of this place is called as F3, right? Basically you have to play F3, and it plays F6, and you have to play bishop F4. Yeah, and there can be a lot of responses in this position, I would say. Basically it can just play this or this, and we'll figure out about that right now. Watch analysis. Yeah, we can also do, I guess. I've not seen openings to be honest, but okay, let's see the stopwatch thing. Okay, what had we played? D4, D5, then knight F3, knight C6, then bishop B4. This is basically the London system. The aim of London system is basically to create this this pyramid type of structure, and place your bishop somewhere here or here. So the best response for black is this. We can basically do this because our aim is to create this pyramid of pawns, and it is very hard to break that. Best response for black is to do this, and what you should be doing next is you can be just moving this knight this way, and the meaning, like if this happens, then you should be doing your knight to this place, and if it takes, then you have to take back basically with e4 pawn because it will limit the movement. If this happens, then we'll just pin the bishop. That is not bad as well. If this happens, then we can block this way. If this happens, then we can just take this back and take this back. You have to just make sure that you learn London opening properly and think carefully, because there are certain principles in chess that you should be following. You should be able to like put pressure on these squares, and you have to have your pieces in these squares, the squares outside these. If you have pieces on these squares, then the control of your in the game and the chances of you winning the game is pretty high, and you should basically have pawn, nice central control it is called. And I'm pretty sure that you know how to castle as well, so just be playing it that way. Let's play a game with London opening instead of like seeing this, and we should analyze it later whether we did play the right move or the other move. So let's play. This is our first move, and we're going to start. I will have to shift my camera once again because I have to see the board. See, this guy is already breaking the principle. You have to have your pieces. You should try to develop your pieces in this square, like in these squares. You should have control of these squares, and it will basically help you win. And this is useless. This is, you can't do anything. We are just making sure that we are having our pieces in these squares, sorry, in these squares. Alright, and this knight also moves into that square. Now see, now what it can do, consider we take this, and what can be the other following moves, like follow-up moves for white. It can take this back, to which we can just take back with knight. So that is the right move. We can just take back with this as well, but in that situation it will be attacked, and if you are attacked, then we can just simply retreat as well and change the direction of the game we are playing about. And if we don't do anything, that I say, if we just develop, then it can just push this, and we have to move our knight anyway, so it's better to just take with the knight, I guess, because if you are moving your pawn this way, then you are exerting some pressure here, and it will be nice, but it can be attacked as well. But it should not make a big difference whether I take with knight and pawn, knight or pawn in this situation, because both of them are correct moves. You can take with anything. But if you take with the knight, then there are chances that you could be retreating back and you are wasting a move, and time is very important in chess, so wasting a move is basically a disadvantage, so you should just be taking with pawn in this position. Let's see what it does now. See, it is just again giving us a free pawn. What can be done? Can just take, we can just develop anything, but if we develop anything, then it can just take us back, and if we try to take it back, then its queen is going to attack us. So it is basically right move to just take that pawn, because we are not in any kind of trouble. Here it will basically take back. Now we can develop our pawns or anything that we want. As I previously told, having developing pieces in these squares is very important, and your pawns should always try to be on this front file. It is basically trying to attack our pawn, but it does nothing. It does absolutely nothing. We can just do this and give a check here, to which it will have to do this or this to block it, and if it does this, then we'll just take this back, I guess. Yeah, this is very important thing that I'm talking about. In this situation, we can just take this back, and this will take our queen, and we can just retreat back our knight and take, or we can take with king as well, but taking with the king takes away our casting rights, so basically you should be taking with the knight. Or we can do something like this. We can give a check, and basically it has two pieces to block, so it is not very nice. You can just exchange, and you will finally go into the same position with one piece left, and the more pieces you have, the more chances of you winning the game exists. Or you can just develop, but if you develop, then this can happen, to which there are chances of losing, so it is basically okay to take. I'm never letting any draw first, bro. I'm completely winning this. So as I told, you can take with the king as well, and with the knight as well. So I will basically take with the knight, because I want to castle this. I want to make sure that our king is safe. This thing is attacking our pawn, and we can simply defend it this way, because we already are inside the square that we are seeing. And see, just took our pawn, and we just can take our take back the knight, because it just hung a piece and it is not defended by anything, so we can just take back this thing. See, the same problem can, you just have to make sure and see opponent's pieces and moves that the piece have made. See, this bishop is covering these squares, and you are moving directly into the place where it can be taken, and you are not even capturing back. So you should not be making any kind of blunders. You can make wrong moves, but you should not be making any kind of blunders. See, again it has moved directly into the path of my bishop, and taking this is very reasonable, because we'll take this, then we'll be upper material, and if we don't do, and if we do something, sorry, if we do what is this, if we do something else, then it can take it back, and it is an equal trade, but it is beneficial to just take a piece and win, right? I'm just taking it back. And in these kind of situations, you can just develop. See, all these ranks are pretty open now. This rank is pretty open and it is just in the middle, and you can attack now because you have pieces to attack. So we can just do two things right here and we can win the match, to be honest. Now we can't, so we have to bring in more pieces. We have to reach enemy king as fast as possible, right? So we can just take back, and we're trying to reach with enemy king as fast as possible. I told you checks, captures and threats. You can basically take this, so you can give a check and see where it can move. It can move here, it can move here, it can move here. So let's I think we can just wait a little bit, and I'll show you how to attack better using rooks in open files. There's no other choice than that, I said. I guess no, but it is better to keep your pieces in these squares. But since it is attacking you, you can either take this and trade off the knights, or you can just retreat back and get a free pawn, and I guess that is a better choice, right? Now there is another move that it is going to play, and I am going to move my knight somewhere because I want this rook to be in this place and it will be easier to checkmate. This is not a problem. And there is a special move in chess where your king can just move more than one square, and that special move is known as castling. And the condition of castling is that your king should not have moved before, and there should not be anything blocking the path of king, right? Consider if this like if this bishop was somewhere here, and so it would see this path and we could not move two squares, right? So that would be not a chance to what did it do? Oh, this is waiting period, sorry. It just gave up. I have some mistakes, but I won't check this because this is not so instructive. Let's play London opening again. This is the last thing we'll do today. d4. This is what we have been taught. London. It says Zuckerberg, but it will transform into London very soon. Here you can do a lot of things. You can just do this or do this. All of these are reasonable, but I would recommend you to play this because it can attack, but you can simply go here and you can create an open file. Open file is very important to attack, and so it is not going to be any kind of problem. And with this move, we are if we move it this way, then we are establishing control over this central squares, and it is very important. And the more you have pressure and the more you have control over those squares, the chances of you winning the game or dominating the game is pretty higher. So just do this. It is saying accelerated London system because I have not played these and these moves. So this is a faster way to reach accelerated London, like London system, but it is a different move order only. That's it. I like this guy, Turkish guy. Uskudaragidaari kennallada veriyavun. Uskudaragidaari kennallada veriyavun. Kyativi min satirisi uznetegi chamun. That is pretty reasonable move because you are developing your knight, but this is not a natural square for knight to be in because knight wants to come this way and it will have more control over these squares, right? The squares we talk about, these squares. If this knight was here instead of here, and the one more thing it is doing is it is blocking the development of this bishop. Now it won't be able to move this bishop without moving this knight, so that is an advantage, and it is basically wasting a move. So that is nice for us. We can just I told you the main aim of this London system is to create a pawn pyramid here with this kind of triangle and have dominance over these dark squares. I'm waiting for this man to play a move. Oh, sorry, I was singing that song. I just remembered. That is a Turkish song. You can uh, search up that, I guess. See, it is trying to attack this, but we have enoughly defended, and it can move somewhere here and attack our bishop, and we have to go this way or this way or any way. But most of the times it is dead. If you do this, then it can just take back and take back, and we are basically losing a pawn. And if this knight comes somewhere after this, any move I make, and if it moves this, then it is better to come this way, because if it takes our bishop, then we can just take with this pawn, h pawn, and our rook has an open file, and the more open files we have, the chances of you attacking well or better is higher. So just do your thing. For now, I'm going to pin this knight here, because that is very natural to do so, I think. And yeah, this is a pin, because I have not explained you pin property. So if we bring our bishop here, you can't move your knight, because your king is like behind it, and if you move this, then it will be a check, or a higher value piece is attacked, then that is condition called pin. It can basically just save with this, but if it does that, then I'll just retreat. We can go this way as well, this way as well, but the thing you should be looking for is the bishop you have should be attacking, not attacking, but like covering large number of squares, like should be in the longest diagonal possible, because it is more helpful. Now see, here nothing is blocking our path. This square is not being, this square is not under check, and same with this. So we can just basically do this and castle. That king has moved two squares, and it is considered more safer to have your king castled. This thing is called as short castle, because we castled at the side of our king, and if we had moved our king like queen somewhere and castle this way, then it would have been called long castle. And basically the thing in chess is that if you and your opponent castle in different direction, the chances of attacks or creating dangerous stuffs is pretty high. In these kind of positions, see here, okay, these are our key squares, and we almost have equal stuffs here, but my two minor pieces exist here, and this knight is very powerful, because it can't be removed easily, right? So it is better to like exchange, kill that, and get your one of your piece killed as well. And it is very beneficial, because you are taking a very important piece of your enemy, and you are just trading off your piece which has not been more developed. This knight is not developed at all, it has not moved even once. So if we get this knight here, then should either retreat somewhere or just take it, because if it does not take it, then we can just take it, and pawn chain gets weaker. These pawn chains are very important, because it creates like an avalanche and a powerful attack, and it creates some kind of barrier. So we'll just do this. If it does not move anywhere, then I'll probably just take this and move my knight somewhere, but it does take, and we are going to take with the queen, because it has to move, and our rooks are connected. So this is basically a nice thing, because connected rooks basically means that our development is finished, and you should be developed very rapidly in order to attack in chess, right? In order to win, you have to be in lead in development than your opponent, to like get to this king faster and checkmate it faster. Because see, in this case, the queen has not moved, it has not castled, it is not safe, and this bishop has not moved, it has actually blocked itself. And same with this bishop as well, it can't move on the bigger square, it has to go back this way, because if it comes this way, then I can just take back with my bishop. So it is just blocking its own way, and it is not doing great in terms of development. While we have developed, we're covering a lot of important squares, and in this case it is trying to establish dominance over the center and the center squares, right? And it has just pushed upon. If we just see what happens, if we take this, it will take back, and we can do something like this, and it will just take back again. And if it does this, then it is basically losing. We can just trade one of the pieces, to be honest, but it is not very important as well. Like, you can trade this pawn, but it will have two center pawns and it can be a little annoying at times. I have decided to trade this thing, and I'll be attacking this queen this way. I guess this is more practical way of playing, I would say. Sorry, I just have 3 minutes, so I just have to move faster. I will try to speak a lot faster. We can just trade this way. See, we can just trade right now. If we trade, then its queen gets developed, and I don't want that, and I don't want it to castle as well. So yeah, it's better to trade in such situations, because if I go here, then it can just do this and attack my bishop with something, so it will be a little bit of problem. And if it takes this, if I move something else, and if it takes this, then I can take this back, but its queen is also right there, and I have to make sure that it's defended somehow. If I push this, it can take this, and I can take this way. Oh, its bishop is also here, so it's better to just take. See, this move, it should have taken with the queen, because this pawn would have been defended twice, but now there is no defender, because this knight that was here sometime before has taken our piece here, and it is not able to defend this piece anymore. So we are taking over a central pawn, and that is very advantageous, because I guess we have more things here. It is just creating a certain things, like it is just attacking, threatening our queen. Checks, captures, and threats, I told you so. And threat is third thing, and it has created a threat on our queen, because if I don't move anything, our queen is gonna get captured. So I'm just gonna do this and see what happens. Also, it is, since queen is also a bishop and a rook, the longer diagonal it can cover, the more effective it is. So it is basically very nice to have your queen in the center of the board, because the diagonals are longer, and the functionality, the efficiency, the work is higher. Just believe that. I'm just under a minute now. I have to play faster. We are up a pawn. See, it has moved its queen somewhere here. See the what shall I say? See the cleverness of this guy. This guy is basically thinking that this thing is protected, and if I take this, then I'll lose my high value piece for its low value piece, and that is a loss. And it has moved it this way, because if I move something else instead of this, then it is possible that I can get checkmated, but it is only possible if this thing is not here, because now it has moved with the aim of bringing it here, or this knight here, anything. But this is a basic pattern that happens, but it only happens if your rook is not here, because and since the rook is here, it is defended, and there's no problem for us at all right now. We can just attack one of these. Actually, we can just do this. See, I am creating a double attack. Double attack is a very important thing, or tactic to know. The thing is, see this diagonal, alright, and I am already threatening or trying to attack this rook, and the thing that is blocking me is my own knight. And if I am able to move my knight in such a way that it is attacking or threatening another piece, then it is probably nice for us, right? So I'm just doing it. I'm gonna lose this, but I just don't care at this point. I don't. If I play fast, then I can clearly win, but I don't want to. Shall I play fast? Let's see if I'm able to win him with 25 moves. See, I told you I was threatening that, and that was my plan. I'm just trying to make sure that I win. Checks are very important. Checks are most important thing here. I'm threatening a checkmate. Moves here, goes here, then it's the only place that can go. If I win with 15 seconds, someone has to give me diamond membership of chess.com actually. This is not a bad move at all. This is the best move to be played in this position. So I'm just basically trying to save my knight because it was under attack, and there are certain things what can be done because this is under threat, and we can just do this. We are attacking this stuff. We can just take with this pawn. We are again attacking its knight. We can just take back, and we are losing on time because I was teaching them a lot. Not a problem. You can. I'll be basically explaining every move. From tomorrow, we'll play 15 plus 10, I would say, and we'll do better. All right. That's it for today, and tomorrow we'll be looking at more moves of uh, London opening, and we'll play some puzzles. We'll solve some puzzles, see our opening, and play 2 games and analyze it properly and give reasoning of my moves. I'll give you the reasons of my moves, and I will also check that with the engine from tomorrow because the time in this was very low and I just lost because of that, right? So see you from tomorrow. Bye bye. Thank you for seeing my first stream. Not a stream, I've recorded this. I had thought of streaming, but recording failed. Not bad, so I'm just closing it now. Thank you for everything. Bye bye. See you tomorrow.